Welcome, acolytes. Today we're actually watching Omegon, The Legacy of Mizzy. I actually don't know who Omegon is or freaking what a Mizzy is. So I didn't pre-watch it or something like that, like this specific video. Then pre-watch it. I am actually quite interested what this is all about, who Mizzy is and why is Mizzy a Mizzy. Why is there a name, or she? Why is she what she is? Or it at least sounds like something that, like, feminine. But let's see. And I, by the way, like already the avatar of him is a Cthulhu, so instant freaking like for that alone. And the backgrounds are actually quite nicely drawn. So I hope he has more of that. And let's see it. Yeah, let's see what
the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, if you like, subscribe, and him too, watch his videos after a while. Okay. Okay, I like that.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be revisiting somebody
Oh my effing god, like... really fair use, not... Yeah, I mean, these days it's actually necessary because a lot of people are unhealthy against reaction content. They don't actually in any way distinguish between any, but just say everything that has to do with that is bad, and that's something I am not really a freaking fan of. But hey, to each their own.
We haven't spoken of since 2023, an individual that rose to notoriety at an alarming rate that led to very, very big consequences for them. Their style of content involved IRL situations, whether it be...
Oh wait, was this the guy that actually went to Japan? He actually... Okay, it was Mizzy. Huh. I forgot that one, to be honest. Totally. Well, almost. Not totally.
Walking up to white people and trying to bait them with racy comments and acting like gangster hoodlums at the same time, forcing those people to run away from them, asking them if they want to die, and then producing hair dye, whether it be taking over trains for a laugh, whether it be going into people's homes unannounced and walking out escorted out of court.
The F? I'm gonna be honest, like the only thing that holds me personally back, if somebody would ever walk into my home and do stuff like that, like in Germany, you cannot do shit against it. That's, in my opinion, a gigantic problem. You can't hit the person, you can't freaking push them out, you can't harm them anyway. And that's something that I am actually sick of. That's effing bullshit. Like, let me at least protect my property. And yes, of course, I can call the police. But before they come, this takes way too long. Like, in most cases, it's already done before they even come near the thing, so...
Of course, and apologising off camera. Getting into people's cars when they're about to get into them, claiming they're Ubers. Or taking someone's dog under the guise of a kidnap, which was later claimed to be staged. And of course, running and or riding through supermarkets.
What the F? Even taking... I really... How didn't he get hit? Like, by now, how the F didn't he get F'd up? Yeah, I just guess it's just that people are these days like, oh no, you actually cannot harm anyone. He just did a little mistake. No, sometimes you got to F the people up that actually make those mistakes. Because not everyone actually reacts to logical things. Because if you ask me, of course I'm gonna say logically you shouldn't go to a guy. Just go annoy the person and just be a hole about it. You shouldn't do that. But not everyone is actually reasonable enough to understand that. And that's why those people, they don't need a, oh, you poor little thing. They need a effing hit in the face. Or they don't need a hit, they just need the freaking possibility of that. The possibility of that is most of the times already enough to persuade those kinds of people to actually just not to do it. But it's not always the case, of course, but damn.
Moles, going through the staff areas and the store areas and escaping or getting caught. Westfield was one of their more popular haunts and they were banned. In fact, they've been banned from a fair few retailers in London. This ended up starting a bit of a movement, and the individual in question got a cult following. They were known as Mizzy. If you remember that name, I've done videos before on this person, I will link them all down below. Mizzy's real name is Bakari Ogaro, and Bakari is currently in a position where they want to separate themselves from the art, as it were, the art from the artist, as you may know the term. Mizzy also liked to peddle this idea that the world lives in a matrix. Now, if you really break it down into a more philosophical debate, there is actually some validity to it. This would imply Mizzy is very intelligent. I'm not...
Hear me out. There is always a point you actually can make, let's use out intelligent, even if you're not. Okay? Just because someone has a truth, just because they actually do something that should be smart, that doesn't mean they are smart. It's that simple.
...is convinced. It reminds me an awful lot of the more recent Avenged Sevenfold album, Life is But a Dream. If you give it a few listens, you'll realise the message is that the world is basically The Sims. Mizzy ended up getting sent to prison for a time, had been arrested so many times, and is still to this day getting arrested on a regular basis, because old videos are being resurfaced, and of course there is a legacy we need to discuss. The impact of an individual like Mizzy is that others will imitate. Imitation is often regarded as the highest form of flattery after all. This is not one of those times. Over on Twitter, Mizzy had put out a statement, and I want to go through that. No one will ever understand my journey fully. I went from being trending #1 in the UK to getting sectioned for 20 days to going to jail twice and still having to live with the consequences of my actions to this day. Keep reading. Finger arrow down.
Yeah, sorry. I am freaking astounded that you're not effed up somewhere in a ditch. So honestly, don't cry about that. You're still a rich guy that just lives the life. Like, you didn't work a day in your life, and it... Okay.
There are 4 images included. We'll get to those soon. I should point out, Mizzy was also given a social media ban, something which I do not support in the slightest. I can understand the impact of somebody who went on to commit what were perceived to be crimes, and they were arrested multiple times, given the equivalent to an ASBO, banned from multiple shops and stores and malls. But a social media ban as well, you are trying to erase that person's ability to live, akin to that of a social credit score, and I fully understand the Mizzy situation made it quite tricky, but I still never supported it. The shop ban is trickier, because if they're privately owned, that's down to the business, right? Public spaces, or banning people from public spaces, again feels akin to a social credit score, and I don't really fully...
I'm gonna be honest, I agree with him on that one. If you get a social media ban, that's something that I personally also do not agree with. And it's basically, as he says, it's basically a social media score, like in it's just it's just, no, that's something we shouldn't do. The freaking ban on in the stores, I completely understand. I agree with. If you have a little shit that actually just knocks on you, just is disturbing, just freaking those things that actually can damage your reputation, then you're out. In my opinion, you're just out. Just if I don't care if your life gets harder through it. No, you effed up, get effed, and just go home. It's fine. That's totally fine. As the social media thing, not agreeing with that. Not agreeing with that at all. But okay, I mean.
Please support it. Continuing with the tweets. Police still be coming to my house to arrest me for old videos or stupid things I've done in the past, and I'm still paying off thousands in fines I accumulated over the years. Going on all these TV shows and podcasts makes you feel unstoppable. So some points from this. The fines, unfortunate. I hope you have a debt management plan if you are struggling to get by, but they are a part of the consequence of your actions.
Fully agree with that. He effed up, he found out. Fully agree with it. This is a consequence of your actions, and for F's sake, people, please, there should be long-term consequences for stuff like that. Like, come on. Come on, you cannot act like an animal and then just pretend you're actually, like, you shouldn't get any consequences for that. Like, come on. Come on.
Some were pranks and some were staged. Obviously, a lot of that content is now lost with the context because you got yeeted off TikTok multiple times. So people will happily use it against you as if it is verifiably fact now, framing an argument a certain way. But I do remember covering it, and I remember covering it from the position of there is a possibility some of this is staged. Because I remember the YouTube prank videos, I'm not stupid. Going on the TV shows and podcasts, you say made you feel unstoppable, yet I covered you going and speaking to Piers Morgan, and he crushed you. Other TV shows you went on and podcasts gave you a chance to speak, or spoke over you, so it wasn't that you were unstoppable or invincible, they just looked down on you. But when you had a chance to speak, you peddled the Matrix idea, or you downplayed the severity rather than simply engaging positively to say, no, this really was staged. You were desperate to play the victim card and the race card, which you did play. You might have thought that made you unstoppable, but don't forget here you walked up to people dressed like a gangster, hood up, looking very threatening for a midget, saying, do you want to die? The third tweet. When all these YouTubers make videos on you, shots fired everyone, it feels like you, the poop, okay? But in reality my life had a huge void in it because I stopped being authentic and started to ride the clout bandwagon, which made me lose what I had when I first started social media at 8, my creativity. Apparently around that time you also lost a parent. You should not have been on social media at 8 years old. Most social media platforms have rules about that, and I'm fully in favour of creativity and letting people express themselves. However, when it comes to the online space, you shouldn't be on it until the terms of service say you're allowed on it. There is much in the way of criticism that can in fact be rightfully levied at those that raised you or did not raise you. You say that there was a void in it because you stopped being authentic. That's often the case with the young people. We learn.
Yes, but it's... I mean, I personally think he lies here just on the fact that he is just annoying shit. So I don't know where this, I'm not authentic, comes from. He is authentic, he's just an annoying little shit from what I hear. And I mean, F him, to be honest. Like, it's just F him for... If he's like this bad, then just go away. Like, just let normal people out of it. And if it's staged, then it's fine. But if it's not staged, then it's just F you gigantically. Just...
Learned this lesson with child.
And he's playing the freaking victim card, so for me personally, he's not getting any sympathy, because he could just act like a normal human being, as I say, and it would be fine.
Actors. The curse of the child actor is a well-known established theory, and kind of proven at this point. Certainly those from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, some from the noughties, and not so many these days. It's diminished, but it's still there and present. Those that grew up in fame, famous, celebrity status liked, yes, before they go nuts, invariably as an adult aren't taken as seriously, they lose their way, turn to drugs, or turn to some form of clout chasing. They have a breakdown of some kind. The social media age is still a bit of a litmus test, an unknown quantity, so seeing the effects of it, one would hope society would learn from. Sadly, that is not the case. Society is too busy pushing SmilingLich ideas. I sold myself for others' entertainment. If you don't know what SmilingLich is, it's a 40k god, or as I know it, it's a Warhammer 40k god, or 40k, or also the fantasy part of it, Rogue Trader. Nah, it's yeah, okay. I don't know any difference. It's a god that has a lot of, let's just say, extreme lovemaking ideas, and I mean extreme, very extreme. So yeah, ooh, he's correct about that. Yeah. And I wasn't helping myself, just making my life more harder to deal with it, when, yes, it's already hard out here with cost of living and matrix operations. Being banned from posting to social media was probably one of the best things to happen to me. I often believe that we people, you all humans of course, oinks, should take at least one day a week, if you are on social media a lot, off. I do on Sunday. I am barely ever present. If someone messaged me and said you need to check something out, oh, I'll go and look. But Sunday's the day of rest for me. Although it isn't technically, I'm doing other things. And I'm not religious, I'm just using the turn of phrase. But being banned from social media might help you, especially as more and more people are chronically online. And I say chronically because they're only there to fight. They are only there to push their brand, create their own franchise. You need to find your niche, but not the niche that compromises your sanity. Something which Mizzy has had to learn the hard way. That's not sympathy on my part. I am stating it as a fact. That insanity...
Okay, I like this guy already. Good. Because if he... yes, you can take it as a fact, and that's good, fine. I actually mistook it as sympathy because a lot of people actually sympathize with this, and I'm just not agreeing with it, because most of the time this is one of my things. That's why I actually play a Lich, because I can be extremely heartless. So yeah, but I agree with him.
He has cost Mizzy tens of thousands in fines and time in prison, which isn't a flex or a brag in the slightest. Continuing though, because it gave me time to realise what I was doing was unacceptable, and that I couldn't get away with it for any longer, and the only people I'm hurting is myself, my child, and my mum. No,
my friend. No, my friend. You're not hurting only you yourself and your mom or child. No. You're hurting a lot of more people. You're degrading their time. You're abusing a lot of people, if that's true what Mona says here. No, you're not hurting yourself. And you're getting the fame and the money you actually want, even if it's not actually good for you. Because that's a different story, but no. You're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting everyone around you. And especially the children that actually want to copy you. And you actually, because I will say this, or I am very sure about that he actually doesn't say in his videos they shouldn't do what he does, and he just enjoys the chaos. So no, mate. You're hurting a lot more.
This is where many in your replies really start to hammer you, because you should have thought of them if they mattered to you sooner, but it took a real sharp shock to the system to effect that change. Your ego was the problem. I will stand by my lack of being okay with the punishment, because the punishment was quite strong, especially when a slap to the face could have been done sooner. This symbolizes a new era in my life, a period where I can grow and flourish personally, so I can never make the same mistakes I did in the past. So far, so good. I take no issue with one learning from their mistakes, and of course, if you're not in the online space being poison, especially that.
Don't misunderstand what I'm saying right now. But at the end of the day, yes, I agree with him if you learn from the mistakes, but you also should look at the freaking way the person actually does things, like how the person actually acted. And that's something that I personally prefer to actually look this up than anything else, because if the person just did time of mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake for years and years and they didn't learn about it, you should be extremely careful about this person. And don't just say, yeah, okay, he learned from it. No. To change someone you were for years, this takes time. And it takes a lot of time. It's not enough that you just say, yeah, I'm done. No. A tweet that says, yeah, I actually did this, it's fine. No. This takes way more time than, yeah, I tweeted about it, now I'm fine. No. It takes way more time than this. And that's why I do not believe him. I do not believe him at all at this moment. I mean, he can change definitively, but he didn't change right now just because he wrote it down somewhere in a tweet.
Alongside construction, I'm also doing an internship at some place writing articles on pressing subjects going on in the world. This has helped me ground my energy and think about how to move for the betterment of society. The only way is up, and minor setbacks require major comebacks. I see no reference here to the Matrix. That's interesting. The 4 images you included are of you with your score reports, showing you are doing well. You got 100% in fact, which is great, congratulations. Along with your colleagues who I'm not going to show pictures of. The last post in this is an Instagram you've linked to yours. Fantastic. Where you get very little in the way of attention these days. A post of interest from 2 days ago though. Hello world. While these past few days have been wild, I'm blown away by all the love I'm getting from my community and the media. I'm trying to turn a new leaf, and seeing you all supporting me rather than dragging me down feels refreshing. Continuously repeating the same mistakes while hoping for a different outcome is like trying to fill a leaky bucket with water. It's an exercise in futility. Starting fresh, I'm all for beginning good vibes into the world. I've learned to move on from my past and embrace a positive new beginning. Your hype keeps me going strong and helps me make real power moves, including some BBC interview as well. The funny thing is, while on the Instagram post, here or there, a lot of positivity, I earlier mentioned the tweets, not so much. Some cry me a river, some saying what you did to that family was unforgivable, shove your X Factor sob story, me, delete your social media and disappear, you deserve everything bad that's ever happened to you. You still posting things online only shows you haven't learnt a thing. No one wants to understand your journey, no one cares. Something Mizzy should fully understand living in London, where no one cares about anyone ever. It's London after all, it's where we send the apathy. My view on Mizzy going forward is Mizzy, do your own thing. I don't really care. Perhaps don't post pictures on your Instagram of you holding your child by their ankle upside down. They are a toddler after all, and that one will get you into trouble. If you go to the Instagram, you'll see the picture. I'm not showing it in this video. I don't believe in the idea of everyone deserves a second chance, because deserves means entitled in a way. I prefer to think of it more as everyone should have the opportunity to try and earn that chance, because you shouldn't just...
Yes, I see it the exact same way. You shouldn't just give the person a second chance. They should work for it and show that they actually changed and state that change. And as soon as they make another mistake, instantly go for the throat. Don't even freaking wait. Because if you do a lot of mistakes when you're earlier, then you have no right to actually cry about it if somebody just says nope. You won't get another chance because it's fair. It's just fair. It's not fair for the person that did the mistake. It's fair for every single one of us that actually were good human. I mean, I wasn't good. Like halfway decent human beings.
Just be given a second chance, a last chance, any chance. I firmly believe you earn it. Mizzy apparently is earning something in a way. And because they are no longer as present in the online space as they once were, it is unlikely they're ever going to attain any real modicum of success as the person that turned over a new leaf. Come to me and I will show you the Mizzy pill. On that note, Mizzy's legacy. Funny that somebody's been dubbed the female Mizzy wannabe because they've been recording themselves punching people at random on London tubes and in supermarkets. Your legacy is apparently anyone else recording themselves for clout, doing something dumb. I keenly await one to be dubbed Mizzy the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and so on. Of course, I do not believe in guilt by association, no. But what your impact on social media was in such a short space of time was one of chaos. You attribute it down to your clout-chasing mentality and fighting against the Matrix. Reality is often a bit simpler than that, so you might want to revisit your thought process when you make those arguments, if you ever do again. I guess this is the part where I say good luck, yeah? As I have, unless you feature in the news again for doing something stupid, no valid reason to go near you ever again.
I'm gonna be honest, I agree with the guy. It's just, well, I personally, if this is the thing that Mizzy truly did, if it's totally true, then he should get effed. It's that simple. He should get effed. And after he gets effed, after that, then you can say, okay, it's fine. You suffered enough. You suffered enough. Now you can show that you actually get in. You're getting better after a while. But until then, you're under a freaking scanner. You cannot get a single freaking night of sleep. Well, okay, I'm overdoing it because I personally hate people like that. Like, being a decent human being isn't that hard. You just don't do the things you do. Most of the time that's enough. But what do I know? I mean, it's... But as it is, acolytes.